Okay, folks, hi there, this is Kim Willis, and here I am, holed up in my hotel room in Siem Reap, Cambodia. I've recently moved from Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Being a digital nomad, I can do these sort of things because my income is not geographically dependent or location dependent, so I'm not restricted. That's one of the beautiful things about making money online. So welcome to this presentation. I've got some good content for you. I'm also going to show you how our paid membership program works, so that because a lot of people have asked me about that. But yeah, I've got some good content for you. It should, for those of you who are seeing this, if possibly you're in the Simple Online Success group, or the SOS group, as a lot of us call it, and you will see this presentation. You'll see the link for this presentation somewhere in the group, posted in the group. If you're not in the group, may I suggest that you become a member of the group if you have an interest in generating leads online using simple, free, social media strategies or platforms such as Facebook. You should join the group because there's some good information in there. There's some good support. We've got a good community. We've got people from all sorts of backgrounds promoting all sorts of products and deals and programs and with different companies and so on. So it's a broad church here. It really is a broad church. So we welcome you as long as you you hit with a straight bat and you're an ethical player. Love to have you. We don't like spammers. We don't like fast buck merchants. We look for people who want to build a serious business based on good, sound techniques, okay, and strategies. So, without further ado, enough of the waffle from me. Let's get started with this presentation. And as I said, I've got some good content. I'm going to give you some good information up front, and then I've got another little bonus for you right at the end. So you'll need to stay here right till the end. Okay, let's get started. Get my little clicker here. Click, click, click. There it is. Topics for today. Well, the first one is what I call warm market strategy. Second one is newsfeed messaging tips. The finer points of direct messaging. Simple tricks to get non-responders to reply. How to turn the tables on the spammers. That's a popular one. I've run this one before actually in my paid mastermind group, and it went over pretty well. So I'm going to give you some tips. It's not going to be a full training on how to handle the spammers, but I'm going to give you some good tips anyway. The point of the matter is that the people that spam us, they don't know any better. Okay, they're clueless, and the strategy they use is maybe temporarily effective until everybody gets wind of what they're doing, but in the long term, it kills your brand, it kills your position and your authority in the marketplace, and it certainly has no place for a serious marketer who's wanting to create some sustainable income, which is what it's all about, isn't it? What else have I got? Yeah, I'm going to share with you my 3-step fast start formula. You like that idea? 3-step fast start formula. We don't want to complicate things. People often complicate things. Sometimes they complicate things because they think that's what the deal is. It's internet marketing. It's got to be complicated, right? Wrong. It doesn't have to be complicated. Other people complicate things because maybe they're trying to hide behind the complication so they don't have to do what really has to be done to build their business, which is all about making connections, communicating with people effectively, and doing some business, right? So they go down all these blind alley pathways. SEO, blogging, Facebook ads. There's nothing wrong with Facebook ads, but for the newbie, I don't think so. So I've got a 3-step fast start formula. Very, very simple. I think you're going to love it. And how to become a communication maestro. You like that idea? Because communication is what it's all about. Whether you're communicating via the written word, the spoken word, video, it's all about communication. And the more effective your messaging is, well, the more business you're going to do. It's as simple as that. Hey, you might even get rich. I've also got a bonus topic. How to create viral buzz on your wall. How about that? How to create viral buzz on your Facebook wall. And get leads. Yeah, leads that convert and do business with you. How about that? Would you like to know how to do that? Alright, you need to stay right to the end because that's my bonus topic. That's my bonus topic. I do that the last 5 minutes. Alright. Let's get started. Warm market strategy. What is warm market? What is it? Now, this is a bit of a rehash from a segment in one of my lessons that's posted in the Simple Online Success group. But I want to bring it to you now just to re-emphasize how important it is that we understand the game that we're playing. We're not playing the cold market game. We're playing the warm market game. So what is warm market? Warm market is defined as people who already have regard for you. They know, like, and trust you. That's it. So, the question I have for you today is this. How many people do you have in your warm market? How many people do you have who know, like, and trust you? 10, 20, 50, 100, hundreds, thousands, or none? How many? Now, if you're like a lot of people that I talk to, you don't have many. You might have a dozen, you might have 12, 15, something like that. But you can't build a business when you've only got 12 or 15 people who know, like, and trust you. We could also add the respect word in there as well. So, this is absolutely critical. It's crucial that we get this right. That we have total clarity about the game that we're playing and the direction that we're going to be taking. It's all about know, like, and trust. So forget about what the hucksters are saying, the hustlers are saying, that you can just pitch people on Facebook, or you can buy solo ads, cold traffic that rarely converts into income. Forget about everything those people are saying. You can stop buying the $2,000 courses, the $5,000 courses, and so on, because the strategies that they're teaching invariably are not suitable for newbies. And all that will happen is that you add a massive degree of complication to what you're doing. And the more complicated it is, the slower your progress is going to be. And here's what I've found about people who are moving slowly. They get demotivated very quickly. They do. They get demoralized because they're not seeing results. Now, I'm not into instant gratification majorly, but I know that how powerful it is to get some early results, to get some quick results. I know that. And I know my mentality needs it, my psyche needs it, and so does yours. You need it just as much as I do. You need to get some quick results. And we've got some people in our mastermind groups, our Facebook groups, etc., who are getting quick results. They're getting results within the first 30 days. These are the people that actually do the work, who apply what we teach. They're getting results. They're getting results in terms of more engagement on their Facebook profile, on their wall. They're getting results in terms of more comments, more shares, more likes, in terms of more quality conversations via the chat facility, in terms of leads, yes, leads, people who are leaning forward, putting their hand up and saying, hey, I want to know more about that. In terms of sales, income, new members for their business if they're network marketers. Yes, all of that happening within the first 30 days. That's a fact, Jack. It is. Now, does that have a positive effect on your attitude? Absolutely. It goes through the roof. It improves dramatically. That's why you need to stay the course with these strategies that we're teaching, and it's all about warm market. Even if people don't know you personally, if they feel they know you and they're more likely to do business with you. It's common sense, isn't it? Even if they don't know you personally, they just know you through Facebook, for instance. They know you online. Maybe they've seen some of your text-based comments. Maybe you've done a YouTube video or something like that. They feel they know you. That's what you want. You have a digital handshake with them. Or let's go one step further. We have a digital hug with them. And they have warm feelings about us, about you. Your objective is to build a tribe of followers, an audience of supporters, an audience of people who think that you're pretty good. And if you had something for them that would help them solve a problem, they'd be quite inclined, perhaps, to do business with you. And that's got to be a good thing. Yes. So that's the game we're playing. It's warm market all the way. Now, of course, a friend today was a stranger yesterday. True? Say yes, it's true. He or she was a stranger yesterday. But if we have the right environment for them, and we bring them into the environment, they're going to have much warmer feelings for you much faster. An example of that environment could be the Simple Online Success Group, because that is a warm, nurturing, trusting, or trust-producing environment, isn't it? So you could invite people to that group and they are going to feel nice things about you. They're going to have good feelings about you. And there's going to be more warmth flowing. So we've taken a cold person that we didn't know from a bar of soap and we found them on Facebook. And now we've got a warm relationship building. You try and do that with, say, solo ads. You go to a solo ad vendor and you pay them 50 cents a click. And you buy 200 clicks, so you give them $100, $100. You give them $100. And what they're going to do is that they're going to do a broadcast email. They're going to send a broadcast email to their list or a portion of their list. And they're going to promote your offer. And they're going to hope that people are going to click on the link inside that email that they're sending on your behalf. And that link will go through to a capture page. And then some of those people are going to opt in to your list, to your email list from the capture page. And the solo ad vendors will be jumping up and down with joy, and you will probably do it as well because you're a newbie and you don't know any better. And they're going to be saying, wow, look at this, you had a 40% opt-in rate. You had a 60, 70, 80, I don't care what it is. You had a good opt-in rate. This campaign is a success. Is it really? You see, that's all they want to talk about. They want to talk about the conversion rate in relation to opt-ins. I want to talk about the conversion rate from opt-ins to sale, stroke income, because that is the only true measure. And the reality is, in the vast majority of instances, the traffic will not convert. It's dead cold traffic, it's cynical traffic, it's suspicious traffic, it's the wrong environment. People who opt into these lists, these solo ad vendor lists, They are cynical. They're jaded. They've been hit so many times with so many different offers. It's the wrong environment. That's why your open rates are so low from solo ads. Your email open rates. Very few people open the emails, and if they don't open the emails, they can't receive the follow-up sales messages, can they? Compare that to our warm market strategy, where we do things on social media platforms. It's the right environment to start with, so we've got a good foundation here. Then if we've got the right channels, the right funnels, we've created additional, or we're part of additional or other groups, we're part of Simple Online Success group, for instance, we can intensify the positive ambience that we're wanting to create. That's it. Next, let's have a look at the warm market strategies that I've used in the past, and still use many of them. Social media, obviously, number one. Blogging, blog commenting, guest blog posts, article marketing, video marketing, strategic advertising. There is a place for advertising. Facebook ads, yes, but not for the newbie. Facebook ads are good if you're boosting a post or something like that, so it's content rich. It's not sales pitch rich, okay? So strategic advertising, that can help to build your warm market for sure. Offline networking, yes, it still works. So you join a meetup, you meet people, you want to plug into affinity groups, you have an interest in photography, you have an interest in personal development, you have an interest in travel, you want to become a digital nomad, okay? Maybe there's a meetup group in your town, in your city, I don't know. Check it out, meetup.com. Offline networking still works very well. And then finally, leadership strategy. What is leadership strategy? You get some success happening if you're an affiliate, you're with a company, you're a network marketer, you're with a company, you get some success happening. See if you can get yourself invited to do a training or something like that. And that training gets recorded and loaded up into the members' back office, and you're one of the guest contributors. That's a leadership strategy. And people will seek you out. People who access that training or that interview, whatever it happens to be, they'll seek you out because you are now an authority. You see, I've used that with great success in the past. And as I say, I've used all of them. Currently, I use social media. That's my number one now. Blogging, yes, I still blog. Blog commenting, not so much. I used to do that, and it's a good strategy for sure. Article marketing, no. Guest blog posts, I just can't fulfill. I've had requests, but I just can't do it. Video marketing, yes. Strategic advertising, not at the moment, but will. Offline networking, no, by virtue of my current location, but I'm in a town where there's not a lot of foreigners. English-speaking foreigners, let's put it that way. But if I move to another area, I go back to my home country of Australia, yes, offline networking, I'll join another meetup group. And a leadership strategy, yes, that's ongoing. But social media is number one. It's number one, and you know the reasons. You know the reasons. I've touched on them just before. It has a good ambience. It's perfect for people that want to build warm audiences. All right, mini lesson number 2, newsfeed messaging tips. Strike a balance between business-oriented content and social content. I think you know that. Some people have a lot of really good social content. You know, you've got photographs of your family, friends, out to a local restaurant, all that sort of stuff. That's great. That tells people you're a nice person. You might have some funny content there, humorous content, funny cat videos, whatever. That's all good. But some people struggle with the business-oriented content, particularly if it requires them to create some content themselves rather than borrow someone else's content. So some people find it extremely difficult to create even to write a paragraph of business-oriented text content, or to record a business-oriented video. Not a sales pitch, but something, maybe it's a lesson. You've got a tip. Could be a personal development tip, something that you learned that helped you in the past. People struggle with that sometimes. Fronting a camera, that can be a challenge, and some people find it hard to write some text. But you can borrow text ideas from other people. You can go to my wall, you can go to other people's walls, and you can see what they're doing. Okay? And you could rewrite that idea. You can take the idea, there's no copyright or patent on ideas, you can't patent ideas, no one can sue you. An idea is just that, it's just an idea. There's millions and millions and millions of ideas out there, so the person who puts them into action is the one that will reap the benefit. So if you see someone's post and you like it, you think, okay, I really like that, you've got two choices. One is to share it. One is to share it and give attribution to the originator, but then you add your little comment over the top. Okay, so you kind of take ownership of it, even though you didn't write the original comment or post. The other thing you can do is to take that guy's post and rewrite it 80% yourself. So it's 80% unique to you. Then it's yours. Okay, so both options work great. All right. So you need to start doing the business-oriented content. I've had a look at, over the last week or so, I've had a look at some walls. I try and do it every day. Members of the SOS group, I like to see their walls. And some of you are not doing it. You're just in inertia mode. And you've really got to get started on this. You're going to position yourself as an authority. Maybe you don't think you're worthy. Maybe you don't think you're good enough. Maybe you have feelings of doubt, self-doubt, you know. Well, the best way to overcome it is just to jump in and start doing it. Just start doing it. Just act as if. Act as if. That's the best advice I can give you. Next one is acknowledge all who make a comment. This is important. So you start putting up some good content. You start to get some comments. You get some likes. You get someone even sharing the content. But let's say you get a comment from somebody. You must acknowledge that by replying to them. Okay. That's obvious, isn't it? And then the next thing, which is not so obvious, is to go to their wall and make a comment. Go to their wall and make a comment. Reciprocate. Reciprocate. That's what you need to do. And in fact, you need to be doing that anyway. That's part of the deal here. You look for other people's walls that you like the look of, and you go and make a comment. And then it's more likely that they will reciprocate. When you start getting a bit of this engagement thing happening, Facebook are going to elevate your posts, and they're going to show them to more people. Okay? So this is the grunt work that you need to do. And it might mean that you're spending a couple of hours a day. To do it properly, a couple of hours a day. Some people say, oh, well, that's true. Gee, I don't have a couple of hours a day. Really? You don't have a couple of hours a day? I saw somebody in the SOS group, and they said something to this effect. Oh, how can you do all this? It's 2 hours a day. I don't have 2 hours a day. I've got 20 minutes a day. I can't achieve much in 20 minutes, and I don't want to give 2 hours a day. Well, my question is, why don't you want to give 2 hours a day? What else are you doing that's so important? I mean, you've got 8, 10, 12 hours a day to be doing your business. What else is more important than this? What strategies are you currently employing, and are those strategies really working for you? Chances are they're not. So let them go. When you let them go, you create a space. It's called the prosperity law of vacuum, and you fill it with something of higher value. Find the 2 hours a day. Find the 2 hours a day. Find the 2 hours a day. It's there. You just haven't allocated it yet. You've got to give this utmost prominence. This is probably the most important thing that you can do to build your business. So you've got to find that 2 hours a day. It's not a big time impost. I don't think it is. 2 hours? You can find 2 hours. It's there. You've just got to let go of something and replace it with something of higher value. Create a space for the good you desire. Wish them a happy birthday on their wall. Now, I didn't used to do this. I thought it was a bit corny. I thought it was a bit naff, as the English would say. But I just decided to bite the bullet and see what happened. So now I wish people a happy birthday. So we check the birthdays every day and we send a birthday message. You don't have to do it. You could get someone to do it. You could get, if you've got a kid who's happy to do it, give them a bit of pocket money and they'll do some of these more menial things. I don't do the birthday wishes. I've got someone else who does that for me. Okay. Now, here's some examples of making comments. Now, this is from, so this one is from John Littler, who is a member of our group. And he's put up an interesting post here from Anthony Hopkins. He's quoting him, and he's done the right thing here. He's added his own comment. That's what you need to do when you post a photograph. He says, I love this personal philosophy of Anthony Hopkins. Imagine it is the same for an eagle. I imagine it is the same for an eagle. And Anthony Hopkins basically says it's none of my business what people think about me. And there's a few other things he says in there which suggests that he's a fatalist. He basically accepts whatever comes, right? And so I've added a very short comment. It's very short, doesn't say much, but in a way it says it all. Does that mean that? Actually, I left out the word there. Does that mean he? Does that make him? It should have been make him. Yeah. Does that make him a fatalist, John? And tag the person. See how I've got John? That's tag. Does that make him a fatalist, John? Now, I haven't followed up to see if, because I've been so busy the last couple of days, to see whether John has replied. I'm sure he will, because he's a very good networker. Then on the other side, we've got one from a guy I've been chatting to on and off over the last couple of months, Josh. And this is what he said. He said, are you an internet marketer? Is Facebook your primary platform? Do yourself a favor and take a look at your own profile. Good advice. What does it look like? Does it look like a political ad? Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, bad day. I'm not sure about the way he writes, but anyway. A leading marketer or coach with a life, an endless stream of the same link over and over. Yes, I get that. What's a profile? Now, pretend you are your target market. Would you follow you? That's a very good question to ask. Would you follow you? Yeah. So I've answered by saying, and this is a longer comment, as you can see. So it depends on what the person is posting. That will determine what my comment will be, whether it's a short one in response to John Littler or in response to Josh. This one seemed to be begging for a more lengthy comment, so I've just said, good tips, Josh. Some walls look like an advertising billboard, others are dead with no engagement and infrequent posts. People's Facebook walls need to be a showcase and a credibility builder. Now, I regard that as a thoughtful, intelligent reply. Some people are going to see that. And once again, because I only did this in the last 48 hours, I haven't been back to see who has followed up, if anybody's replied, including Josh. But you do enough of this kind of thing every day, people are going to notice you. It's the attraction marketing thing. You're attracting people to you, which is always preferable to the other option. Now, what else have we got here? Just examples, all right? Another comment. This is a friend of mine, John Pike. It's not what you're going through, but where you are going to. So keep your eye on the goal. Agree. And I said, yes, right on, John. Just very simple there. Now, I also like to look at profiles, look at profiles of people that I want to dialogue with and network with, cultivate, and so on. So this is John. Now, he's one of the memorable moment for him was when he got to hug a tiger. And I'm into big cats, so there's something in common there with me. I look for people who I have a degree of something, or I've got something in common with them, okay? Now, he doesn't say it there, and he needs to fix up his profile so that it shows up on the left-hand side here. Okay, so we see that he's married. He's from Newcastle, New South Wales. He's followed by 742 people. But if I was to go to his wall and look at his feed there, I would see that there is some business-oriented content there. So that's another positive for me. That tells me this is the sort of guy I'd like to do business with. So there's a few things here. Some of his posts are business-oriented, which sends the right signals out to somebody like me. Number 2, he likes big cats, right? And number 3, he's an Australian. I'm an Australian. And so there are 3 points in common there. So if I was to ping him via the chat box facility, well, chances are we're going to get a good conversation happening, because I'm going to lead with one of these points in common. And then I might ask him, hey, by the way, what business you're in? Obviously you're in some kind of a home business. What is it? Now, all of this discussion assumes that your target audience is comprised of other marketers, maybe struggling marketers. That is one of my target audiences. You may have a different target audience, so you're going to be looking for other points in common perhaps. But whatever your target audience is, the principles are the same. They're the same. Principles of engagement, communicating in the right way, commenting on their wall, liking their stuff, and so on. Let's talk about personal messaging. So before I was talking about their wall, your wall, you wall, and what you need to do there, at least giving you some tips, some ideas. Let's talk about personal messaging, one-on-one, private, using the chat box facility. Send a thank you PM to people who like, comment, or share your post. All right, so when someone particularly comments on your post, you will acknowledge that, you'll follow up with a comment on your wall. But now we're taking it a step further. We're going to thank them via the personal message facility. And not only if it's a comment, even if they like. I don't do this now because I'm too busy, but I did do this in the early stages. Even somebody sends me a like, I went on to the chat box and I pinged them. I said, hey, thanks for the like, I really appreciate it. And then wait for their response. That's it. You want to wait for the response. You give them some space to respond. Thanks for the comment, I really appreciate it. And of course, I have already gone to their wall and made a comment on their wall. Wish them a happy birthday as a PM. Now, I said before that you wish them a happy birthday by going to their wall, but take it one step further. Send them a PM. And even if you feel uncomfortable about it, just do it. After you've done it 10 times, it'll be easy. Okay? Now, here's what I found about this strategy. If you just wish them a happy birthday on their wall, it has minimal impact. Because a lot of other people are doing the same thing. So your happy birthday message will get lost. But very few people are sending them a PM. And I find that maybe half respond. So communication is happening. We're starting. They might say thank you. Sometimes I'll send a thumbs up. Sometimes I'll say thank you very much. I really appreciate it. This is the happiest day of my life. Whatever. Okay. Now, don't start talking business or anything like that. It's their day. It's their special birthday. So I often send them a birthday cake graphic, something like that, or something funny, a celebratory kind of graphic. You've got them there in Facebook. Do that. Do something like that after they respond to your happy birthday wish. And then what you can do in a few days' time, you want to be classy, you want to do things tastefully. Don't do it now. Wait, do it in a few days' time and lead with a point in common. You've checked their wall, you find something there, you say, hey, by the way, what business are you in? I've been looking at your wall and I'm intrigued. Now he may think that you're going to be a lead for him. That's okay. Let them think that. Or she may think that. Check their profile and look for points of common interest as stated. Ask lots of questions. So not on their birthday, but other times. Okay. Ask lots of questions. There's an example of a birthday wish. That's all I say. Wishing you a happy birthday. This is in the chat box. Another thing that I do to ascertain whether I want to work with somebody or networking and engage with somebody is I look at the friends in common. So this example here, I see that there's Edward Camille is a friend in common. He's an interesting guy, actually. I might share the screen and show you what he does. Scott Smith is a friend in common, another marketer. Mark Goodson is another marketer with an interesting story. He's based in Panama. He's an American, but he's based in Panama. He's married to a Panamanian girl. Ryan Bidoff is a mate of mine, and he's an American guy, but he's a digital nomad, and I first started talking to. In fact, I did an interview with him in just almost 2 years ago. And I was in Vietnam at the time, and he was in Bali. Okay, that was a good interview too. So there's some friends in common there. So that looks good to me. That sounds good to me. There are other friends in common that I don't actually know these people, but there are 4 out of the 9 that I do know. Okay, so yeah, I'd want to be engaging with this person, all other things being equal. All right. Now, here's another friend of mine, Peter Beckenham, another example of a profile that I would find attractive because, as I say, I'm looking for marketers. I'm looking for struggling marketers. You can do a lot. You can do well with struggling marketers. You can offer them another opportunity. You can offer them, why are they struggling? They're struggling because they're not getting enough leads, which is often a big problem. Well, we've got the solutions, haven't we? So we can offer them that. We can offer them training products, all sorts of opportunities to generate income with struggling marketers. So Peter Beckenham is very active in the SOS group. He does a great job. He's terrific at what he does, really, really good. And when I look at his profile, okay, I know him now, but there was a time when I didn't know him. And I'd look at his profile and I'd say, well, here's a guy, he's another Australian. All right, well, that's one point in common. He went to Tamworth High School. I know Tamworth, I've been through that town many times. What else? He lives in Thailand. I currently live in Cambodia. We're right next door, we're almost neighbours. You see? Points in common. What else? Online marketing, of course. He's into online marketing. He says, and he's a baby boomer, or I think he might be just outside of the baby boomer thing, but you know, he's over 50, let's put it that way. I'm living proof that you're never too old to achieve success online. Interested? Then ask me how. That's a good summary. That's a good summary for a marketer to use. You could borrow from that. But the point I'm making is that this is a profile that I like. This is the sort of person I want to be networking with for mutual benefit. It always has to be mutual benefit, doesn't it? Now, Julie Willits, she's represents another good example. She's based in the US. She calls herself Extreme Mama. She's got a lot of personality. She's irreverent. She's my kind of gal in a way. So let's have a look here. So I already knew that she was a reverend. You can look at her. I looked at her feed and I thought, hey, this is a fun person. I'd like to get to know her more. But I see some other points here. She was born in the UK. Although she lives in Pennsylvania, she was born in the UK, and she's from Newcastle upon Tyne. Guess what? I lived in Newcastle upon Tyne for 12 months. When I was I lived in the UK with my wife in the 80s. We were there for 5 years, and for one of those years it was Newcastle upon Tyne, the Windy City, I called it. And so, got some points in common here, haven't we? And up towards the top there, she's got her statement, helping people live their dream lifestyle with internet and network marketing. There you go. Encapsulates what she's about. So that's another person who I would have definitely wanted to link up with, become a friend of, and maybe network, do some networking together and get to know her more, you see? And that's exactly what has transpired. So just get this way of thinking, get it right, get it happening for you, and you're going to progress in leaps and bounds. You are. Here are a couple more. Jono Ardley, who's a good online mate of mine. He's another Aussie. I've got plenty of non-Aussie friends, don't get me wrong. I've got a lot of American friends, people in the UK and in other parts of the world besides. But this guy's another funny guy. He's a character. He's a showman. He used to be a showman at Dirty Dick's Medieval Madness restaurant. He's a funny guy. And if you're not a friend of his, why don't you friend him? And you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. He's also in the SOS group. So I've been friends with him for about 2 years, but when I looked at his profile, I liked it, and I thought, yep, I want to get to know this guy more. He's got so he's from Melbourne, Australia. He did spend time in New Zealand as well. He's an online marketer and entertainer from Melbourne. He also lived in New Zealand. So there's some more points in common there. My granddad was a New Zealander. You see? Right hand side we've got Pat Dreyer. Now Pat is based in Arizona in the US. And he's been a kind of a high-flying sales executive working internationally. He's travelled the globe, and now he's back home. And he's a grandfather, he's a golfer, husband, home business owner, point in common, network marketer, professional and entrepreneur, all good. And he's in Phoenix, Arizona. Now here's the thing. One of my longer term friends is Robbie Goldenberg, and Robbie also lives in Phoenix, Arizona. Pat is a new friend, relatively new friend. But when I saw this, that he's in Phoenix, Arizona, I immediately thought of Robbie Goldenberg. Right? And now the interesting thing is, this is how the networking works, of course, is that Robbie and Pat have linked up and they've had coffees together. Real world networking. They've had coffees together. Good stuff. Good stuff. So here's another guy that I want to network with. So decide what your profile of your ideal prospect, your ideal business associate, partner, whatever. Decide what that profile is and go and find those people. You do it by checking their walls. The finer points of personal messaging continued. Just to finish off this topic. If a prospect, so after you friended a person, you've had a bit of a chat to them, if you think that they are a prospect, you follow up with a question in a few days. And it could be a business-oriented question. If you didn't talk about business the first chat, well, you've got to bring it to a head soon. Otherwise, it'll just be you'll be drifting. You'll be in a perpetual state of drift. You don't want that. So we want to get to the point where we're talking about business issues, don't we? Sometimes I do it on the very first chat. Other times it'll be in a day or two. So you can follow up with a question. It could be something like, "Hey, when we had that talk the other day, that chat the other day, you mentioned something about a problem that you were having, you know, blah blah, whatever it happens to be. And then you might say, and wait for him to respond or her to respond. You say, I might be able to help you with that. And then he's going to say, what do you mean? Or, you know, tell me more, or such as, something like that. So, well, when you said that you had this problem, I thought about something that I'm doing that is working for me. I don't guarantee it'll work for you, but it could be worth looking at. And it's a very interesting concept. See, I talk in concepts. I don't talk about money-making schemes or anything like that. I talk in concepts, and the concepts relate to a problem that I'm hoping to solve for a person, for somebody I'm talking to or wanting to talk to. That's, see, the nuancing of the messaging is critical and makes you a better communicator, which is what this is all about. Okay, so think about that. What else have we got? You need to be strategic. Just as a good chess player is thinking 2, 3, and 4 moves ahead, you need to be doing the same thing. You need to have in your mind's eye an idea as to where you want to take this conversation. If not today, maybe over the next week. Sometimes we have to do a bit of toing and froing with people that we're talking to. Okay? But try and be strategic. Try and think of the end game and have an idea as to where you want this to be leading. Okay? And then what you're wanting to do is to fashion your messages in such a way that there is only going to be one conclusion. Establish posture. Now, posture is really important, and it's more about a mental state than anything else. It's not about when you've got your shoulders down or something like that. It's more about how you're at up here. Okay, that's what posture is about. And you need to have good posture. It's confidence. Confidence. So you need to be able to project confidence, you need to be able to project posture, and you can do it just with text-based messaging. You can. You can do it. You can do it via your Facebook wall. You can exude posture on your Facebook wall without sounding arrogant. Right? So that's why it's so important to have at least one Facebook post a day that is a post that you created, and it has a message. A business-oriented, personal development-oriented kind of a message, without it being salesish, overly salesish. Maybe it's a tip. Maybe it's an opinion, a point of view. So when you're talking to people via the personal chat facility, they are probably going to check your wall. So you're wanting to convey posture and confidence and authority. You're wanting to do that, because that will help you immensely when chatting with people. Part of a posture building strategy is a technique that I call the takeaway. So if you're talking to somebody, and I'm giving that example before, hey, I was thinking about what you were saying the other day about this problem that you've got, and I thought maybe I've got an idea for you that could help solve that problem. Maybe I've got a concept for you that could help solve that problem. It may or may not work, I'm not absolutely sure, but I just thought I would run it by you. See that? That's the takeaway. It may or may not work. Or this solution or this idea is not for everybody. I'm not sure whether it would be a good fit for you, but I thought I'd run it by you anyway. We're playing it cool. We're saying, hey, I don't need you, but you may need me. You may need me. The takeaway. The takeaway can manifest in all sorts of different ways, but we kind of pull back a little bit from them and we let them know that we don't need them. See, this is all about posture. The takeaway is just one of the techniques. I reckon I should run a training just on this technique and all the wonderful ways that you can manifest the takeaway technique in your communication activities. Alright, so think about that. Number 4, simple tricks to get non-responders to reply. Now this does happen. It's probably happened to you. You've been talking to somebody and that somebody is not replying. Maybe you had an initial chat with them and then you follow up in a couple of days and they're not replying. Now, there may be different reasons why they're not replying. Maybe they're super busy. Maybe they didn't see your follow-up message, or maybe they didn't like you. I hope it's not that. But let's say it's not that. Let's say maybe they're just so busy and they haven't prioritized your reply or your comment, your message. They haven't prioritized it. Well, I use simple little tricks. There's nothing magical about it, but I don't put up loads of text as a message to them. I just say something like, "What's up? Hey!" I'll add a smiley face. I'll add a funny face. I'll find something in the Facebook library there. I'll just put that up. I shame them into it. If they haven't responded to my text message, well, maybe the smiley face or the funny face will do it. And it does. It does happen. It does work. You get them to laugh a little bit, and they kind of realize that they're a little bit tardy by not responding to you, and now they will. So try some of these techniques. They do work. How to turn the tables on the spammers. Yes. The foundation. We've got to go back to your wall. Your wall, including your profile? Is your profile well sorted? Do you have a description of your profile there that resonates with people? Okay. You need to do that. So go and fix up your profile if you haven't already done so. Your authority boosting content. You need to have that on your wall. You need to have copy and paste format. I'll come back to that. I just want to stay on this authority boosting content. You need to have that authority boosting content for sure, because the spammers are going to check that when you engage with them, particularly if you provoke them a little bit. They're going to check it, and you want them to be mildly intimidated, right? So, and you want a live wall. You want a wall that has some engagement. And that sends a signal to them that you're not to be messed with, that you're a person to be respected, you see. You need to have copy and paste formats. For my paid mastermind, I have copy and paste formats that I give to members. And these are typical responses that you can use in a lot of different situations when you're dealing with, particularly when you're dealing with spammers. Okay? So, this is what I would suggest you do. You start writing down typical answers to the spammers, and then when they hit you with one of their zingers, you can look for the right response, copy it, paste it into the chat box, and see what happens. Okay? You need to have clarity, a strategy that you believe in. This is vitally important. You've got to believe in what you're doing. You've got to believe that warm audience building strategy is far superior to pitching, spamming approaches. And you have to believe that you will prevail with this spammer. You will prevail, even if you don't. Some of them are incorrigible, and you quickly abandon after a couple of minutes of trying to find the chink in their armor. But others can be won over to the cause. Okay, I know this for a fact because I have people in my masterclass group who started out as spammers, and now they don't spam anymore. They use these methods that we're teaching, that I'm teaching. Okay, so you have to believe in this strategy. You have to be unshakable in your belief. Otherwise, they'll unsettle you. Your attitude has to be bulletproof. It has to be. That's the only way to take on the spammers. Now, some people say, "Oh, I can't be bothered dealing with them. I just delete them." Look, I've tried different approaches with spammers over the years. One of them was just to ignore them, delete them, unfriend them, whatever. Other methods I used with zero results was to abuse them, get angry with them, and so on. No point doing that. It doesn't work. This method is the only method that will work. Does it work in every instance? No, it doesn't, because as I said, some of the spammers are incorrigible. Spamming is in their DNA. They're fast buck merchants who never seem to make a fast buck. There's an irony there, isn't there? So let's have a look at an example. This is these are screenshots of a real conversation that happened with one of my students, and her comments have the blue background, the darker blue background. Okay, so how it's happened is that we've got this spammer guy. Sarah is my student, and she has obviously liked one of his posts, right? Because that's what I teach people to do. I don't teach people to like kind of get rich quick type of posts. I don't do that. But if they see good quality content, like it and even make a comment. So anyway, he's come back and said, look, he's responded by saying, "Thanks for the like. Are you in SBC as well?" Now that's if you don't know it, it's a network marketing MLM type company. And so here he starts with his pitch. "It's crazy, I'm getting paid every week." Now I've put an arrow there because that is the first pivot point. I could elect, if it was me doing it, she didn't do it this way, but if it was me doing it, I could jump in straight away there and say, "Oh really, how much money are you making?" I could be as blunt as that. Right? We want to unsettle people a bit and put them on the defensive, because the only form of defense is attack in some instances, and against spammers this is the way to do it, trust me. And on he goes with his copy and paste messages. See the middle one there, health and wellness company, the marketing system we have is crazy, puts paid members in everyone's downline before they blah blah blah, before they even join. Would you like to take a peek at it? All right, so he's closing for them, or for Sarah, to opt in and go through the system. And she said, "I actually have a lot going on myself. Sounds fantastic. How long have you been in this? How long have you been in this company?" He says, "About 2 weeks. I got promoted my very first week." Oh, whoop-de-doo. And believe it or not, I had never recruited anyone ever. Well, I don't believe it. Yes, I'm calling him out. I'm saying he's a liar. That's me. "And the best part is my recruits are making money." Okay, well, there's pivot points here. How much are your recruits making? How much money have they made? The answer is probably going to be, if he's honest and truthful, he's going to be, "Oh, well, they made $30 and they made $50, because they don't. When somebody buys one of these product packs, they don't make much. They don't make much money. Okay, now pivot point here on the left. About 2 weeks I got promoted my very first week, and believe it or not, I had never recruited anyone ever. I could respond by saying, "Oh, so what, you've tried other programs in the past, have you?" All right, so just trying to get some engagement happening here. I'm not lobbing a hand grenade at this point. Anyway, over to the right hand side, she has said, "Good on you, well done." All right, so she's just playing the role of nice person. What I'm suggesting is that we need to go beyond being a nice person. We need to find the chink in their armour, and the way to do that is to ask questions. Continuing on here, it's a little bit disjointed. "Thank you, it's not me, it's the great system we have. Plus, I had a great something or other, a great sponsor who answered all my questions, etc., etc." And she's saying, "Oh wow, that's awesome." See, she didn't know how to handle it, because this happened before. I think before I had the copy and paste response files in place. They're now in place, so this sort of thing would never happen again. So, what companies do you work with? He's asked the question, "What companies do you work with?" And she's responded somehow there. Okay, on he goes, on he goes, on he goes. See, another pivot point here, see on the right-hand side, is to say, hey, you've given me a lot of text here. Can I ask you a question? Are you copy and pasting this? Because I don't believe you would be just typing this in manually. So just please tell me, I'd really like to know. Are you copy and pasting this? Just a little thing like that can unsettle people. Okay. Now I've got another pivot point here, another opportunity to respond. This is what I'm saying. Now hit me with any questions. Well, when somebody says hit me, I really want to hit them. Literally, with a hammer. For me, it's very annoying when they use this kind of slang. But that's me. I'm a bit eccentric when it comes to use of the English language. Hit me with any questions and let me know as soon as you get into the system. After that, I'll answer any questions you may have. I might respond by saying, well, you know, I'm pretty busy. I really don't have time to have a look at this, but you can answer me. I've got a question for you right now. And then you fire a question at them. And the question might be something like, well, you're saying it's free to join. It's free, it's free, it's free. Because he says that throughout the spiel there. You say, so you mean that I don't spend any money, ever. Is that what you're saying? Now, if he was to respond and say, well, that's right, yeah, you don't have to spend any money ever. Say, well, how will you make money if I don't spend money? How's that going to happen? You're going to create income out of thin air? How is it going to happen? See, I want to expose him just a little bit. Just a little bit. How is it going to be happen? If it's all free, everyone's signing up for free, how are people going to make money? Surely it's about people buying product. Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. So there's a few ideas here, but I've got some other ideas here as well. I've given you a few from my extensive copy and paste file system. Here's one. Interesting. And you could ask this at any point during the pitch. I see you're using push marketing. Have you ever tried pull marketing? Bang. That's the equivalent of lobbing a hand grenade at their feet. I see you're using push marketing. Have you ever tried pull marketing? Now they might respond by saying, well, what's that? Well, pull marketing is about getting people to chase you. Ever tried that method? See? This will unsettle people when you start using techniques like these. What have you done to build your personal brand? That's another one. Because I've had a look at your wall, and it just seems to be a great pitch fest. And whilst there may be some short-term benefit, you're not going to really be building, if I can say this, as just giving you some helpful advice, you're not going to be building a personal brand that creates sustainable income, are you? All designed to disturb people, unsettle them. And what we're hoping is that they'll start to lean forward and they say, well, hang on, tell me more. I've had that. I've had people say that who were pitching me. Tell me more. Are you familiar with attraction marketing concepts? So, look, there are 4 questions that you could ask. You could just drop them in there at the right point and see what happens. You may find that some of these people that are pitching you now, you can turn the tables on them. Turn the tables on them. Then they start leaning forward to you. You're using attraction marketing techniques now, aren't you? You're attracting them. Previously, they were pushing to you. They were pushing you. Push, push, push. Now, they're leaning forward, wanting to know more. Because they sense that you've got something that they don't have. Another one could be, although you're using these techniques now and you say that they're working, I have to accept that as being truth. My experience is that they don't work for very long. That's something else you can say. Reason? Well, they don't work because you muddy the nest. You pollute the nest, and no one wants to talk to you anymore. They don't work because ultimately you'll get more and more abuse from people, and you'll get sick of it. See, this is the thinking that you need to have in order to counteract the spammers. Okay. Let's move on to my 3-step fast start formula. You get active on the walls, you have 3 directed chats a day, and you follow up till it hurts. That's it. You see, notice what I say, they get active on the walls, plural. You get active on your wall, minimum 3 posts a day. You get active on 3 other people's walls. You comment. Not just a like, but a comment. Comment has more value. Number 2, you go to your chat box and you find some people that you want to engage with. And you have 3 directed chats a day. Chats that are going to lead you to a business conversation. And number 3, you follow up till it hurts. If follow up means that you just follow up in a few days' time and say, did you have a look at the video link that I sent you? Maybe you sent them a link to the SOS group because you want them to join that first. If they don't respond, follow up with a smiley face. Follow up with something silly, a silly graphic. And above all, be helpful. So you got that? Get active on the walls, have 3 directed chats a day, follow up till it hurts. That's my 3-step fast start formula. And above all, be helpful. But do it in a commercially directed way. So that concludes the lesson for today. Where to from here? Well, don't forget, I've got the bonus topic coming up at the end. We haven't quite finished yet. And it's called How to Create Viral Buzz on Your Wall. But I want to finish off with one other topic. And this is called How to Become a Communication Maestro. Okay? For most of you, it will be a case of thanks very much, see you later. You've got your training, you're happy with that. You want to wait till the end to get that other little bit of training. But that's it. You don't want to go deeper. You don't want to get involved with me in any other way. That's fine. No problem. But a few of you will be looking for something more. I know that. You can stay plugged into the Facebook group, watch the lesson videos and chat to other members. No problem. But here is what some people have learned. Implementation is the hard part. Some people struggle with getting started, whilst others are putting in the work, but their results are abysmal. Why so? Well, doing it yourself is hard. It's hard to stay motivated, and it's hard to get the detail right. Trust me, this is more than learning tactics and strategies from watching videos, video lessons, etc. The reason why one person masters the strategies whilst another does not is not so much about talent and native ability. It's often about one simple reality. The best marketers had one-on-one help from an expert, a coach, a mentor. Let me illustrate the point with a story. Let's say we have a situation where we've got a guy who's running an electrical contracting business, and he's taken on a new apprentice. And the apprentice wants to become an electrical contractor. He wants to become a fully qualified electrician. The apprentice is going to night school to learn the theory of electronics and all the rest of it. He's doing that. He's getting the theory right. But the boss who owns the business, who employs this guy, knows full well that theory can only go so far. So one day he takes the young guy out with him, out on the road. They've got a few jobs to do in customers' houses. And one of them is to install a new fuse box. All right? Now, our young guy knows theoretically how to install a fuse box because he learnt that when he went to night school. But in practice, maybe somewhat different. Particularly, technology is changing and how things are being done in the real world is always changing. So the boss takes him out. First customer is Mary Jones, and she needs a new fuse box. The other one blew up. And the boss shows the guy some tricks of the trade. He shows him some shortcuts that don't imperil safety or anything like that, but just how to get the job done more efficiently, faster, how to maximize the time that they're there. Now, that young guy probably got more out of that day in the field with the boss than he got from 12 months of night class lessons. You see what I'm saying? Because we had the experienced man taking someone under his wing and showing them how it's really done in the real world. Now, I can tell you that a huge reason for my success is due to one simple fact. I've had plenty of hand-holding from people who were more successful than me. Let me further illustrate with some examples. Robert C. helped me double my sales as an insurance salesman. I was only 20 years of age, by selling concepts, not policies. That was the first big lesson that I learned, and that lesson has stayed with me all of my career. Michael T. helped me treble my average commission per sale. I was an insurance salesman, by showing me how to uncover pain points and offer dynamic solutions to prospects. Tanya S. helped me generate my first leads online. She did. That was 10 years ago. She helped me get started. I joined a program, it was a big ticket program, had no idea how to generate leads online. Obviously I had some anxiety about that, because I'd never done it before. And she took me under her wing and got me started. John C. helped me get more conversions by talking effectively with people on the phone. I had a problem with the phone, but with this particular opportunity that I joined, it required me to generate leads online and people would fill in a form with adding their phone number, and they would need to be called. I had to call them, but I was terrified about that. John C. helped me refine my technique, my communication skills. Powerful stuff. And between Tanya S. and John C., both in the same company that I was with at the time, enabled me to go on and bank, in the dying days of that first month, over $9,000. It was Australian dollars, it was still about $6,500 or more US dollars. The next month I almost doubled it, and the month after I increased it by at least another 50%. I was making good money. Now, I often think back and say, what would have happened if I didn't get that help from those people who are more successful than me? And lastly, I've got Jim Y. Jim Yagi is his name. And him plus others helped me take my offline content to the next level. So communication is what it's all about. So John C. helped me with my phone communication skills. But Jim Yagi and others helped me take my online content to the next level. I applied my new skills to email marketing, blogging, sales copy, authority building content, and personal branding. Awesome lessons that I've had from people who were more successful than me at the time. One-on-one help. Okay? This is really where the rubber hits the road. So where to from here? Well, if all you're looking for are some ideas, some strategies and a community, you can probably disregard this next section. On the other hand, if you want to quantum leap your progress and join the ranks of the pro online marketers, stay tuned. You're going to love my new program, and it's called Communication Maestro. Imagine what would happen to your business if you finally cracked the communication code. You could write an email, send it and make instant sales or generate instant leads. You could write a blog post or a positioning document that gives you instant authority. You could write a Facebook post that generates instant leads. You could have a chat with someone on Facebook or Twitter and then turn them from disinterested and apathetic strangers into hot prospects. You could talk to someone on the phone or Skype and have them eating out of the palm of your hand. They're leaning forward and wanting to do business with you. You could create a sizzle video that gets people to reach out to you and want to do business with you. Wouldn't it be incredible if you were getting outcomes like those? Well, have no fear, I am here because I have good news for you today. I do. because today is the day that you learn about my latest program, Communication Maestro, as stated. Communication Maestro will take you from where you are now to a better place. This is the place where the cool kids hang out. They're the ones who know exactly how to create money out of thin air because they've cracked the communication code. They know how to create potent messages that educate, persuade and sell without using pitchy or high pressure techniques. People love to do business with them. I call it pull marketing, which is the exact opposite of old style push marketing. Wouldn't you love to do business with people who are leaning forward and asking to do business with you? Well, Communication Maestro will do that for you and more. Here's how it works. There are 3 elements to the program: learning, accountability and coaching, one-on-one coaching in particular. First, let's look at learning. I've included a lot of learning resources. Now, you will not need all of these resources right now, but I'm giving them to you now because a time will come when you may well need them. Here's what you learn when you join the Communications Maestro program. How to write the perfect Facebook promotional post and get immediate leads. How to create your own positioning document that positions you as someone who is worth doing business with. How to create a lead magnet free report offer that generates inbound leads over and over again. How to write and structure a blog post that gives you instant authority. How about that? How to craft a personal Facebook messaging sequence, blueprint it and use it over and over. How to generate leads from Twitter and Instagram, not just Facebook. How to communicate with people by phone or Skype and have them ask you to buy or join your team. How to use the takeaway to enhance your posture and have people almost begging to join your business to buy your product or buy your product. How to craft a newspaper ad that gets you more leads. Yes, this stuff even works in the offline world. How to create a video sales proposal using PowerPoint combined with effective voiceover and persuasive messaging techniques. How to overcome your fear and do direct-to-cam videos that generate more leads from hot prospects. How to use Facebook Live and position you as the go-to person in your niche. How to create an authority-building info product in 48 hours or less positions you as the authority in your niche. Now here's what you get. You get access to our secret Facebook group. It's called the Masterclass. It's part of the Simple Online Success brand, but it's called the Masterclass. You've got 90 days there, $200 value. I Am for Fun membership site. So you get your own membership site. It's my membership site, but you get access to it. It's password enabled. Lots of different topics, but the underlying theme is communication skills. Blog content creation, capture page strategy, dynamic content creation, Facebook strategy, messaging mastery, master communicator, sales funnels to die for, traffic inferno, and so on. As I said, you won't need all of this stuff now, but some of it is going to be mighty helpful for you and will help you to advance your skills. Twitter for leads training, potent email content creation, monster conversion strategy, and from marketer to maven, a fantastic topic, a fantastic module. So that's all included in the I Am for Fun membership site. You also get the mastermind webinar recordings, 8 sessions where we go deep. We use split screen technology. We go into look at my back office. You see what I'm actually doing. You see what other people are doing and so on. All recorded, available for you 24/7 via the I Am for Fun membership site. So you get that. Value $300. You get my foundational 10K a month formula course. This is my best selling course, my biggest selling course. 10K a month formula training. And basically you'll learn the simple strategies I use. It's more of an overview than anything else, but there's some good stuff in there. The value is $97. You get that. You also get my training called Info Product. Learn how to create your own authority building info product in 1 day or less. See, a lot of people think about creating an info product so they can build their authority, but they think it'll take months. No, it doesn't need to take months at all. You can do it in 8 hours or less, and this little course will show you how to do it. Value $77. Monthly live webinars, 1 a month, value $300. So you get 3 webinars there live. Plus you get Email Mojo, value $60. Now, how this works, it's pretty simple. I've trawled through hundreds of my emails, especially those that had the best open rates, up to 75%. And I chose the top 21 email formats, but I've gone further than this. So you can better understand why I do things in a certain way. I've also made comments about each template. So it's not really a course, but it will represent a learning experience for you, okay? Because of the comments. I comment on each of the 21 successful emails. And I say why it was structured this way, why I created this subject line, and so on, okay? So it's not a course, but you will learn something valuable from Email Mojo. You get SOS lessons on Facebook and Twitter training, and I think that we're going to have some Instagram training coming over the next few months as well. Value is $60. Crazy. It should be more than that, that's for sure. It's undervalued. I'm going to adjust that price there, that dollar figure. You get Platinum Wealth Academy. Now this is in your membership area as well. This is not so much for the traditional MLM people or traditional affiliate marketing people. This is for big ticket marketers. So if you're a big ticket marketer, you'll love it. If you're not, well, no problem. You get it anyway. Okay, it's thrown in. And who knows, at some point in the future you may become a big ticket marketer anyway. So you've got it there. Value is $300. So there are lots of modules there on big ticket marketing. There's the summary of the resources for the I Am for Fun membership site. Everything that I've just covered is all there in the summary. Total value, $894. All right. Category number 2. The second way we're going to support you is accountability, through accountability. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to include a 7-day accountability challenge, approximately once a month, give or take. 7-day accountability challenge. The value is $200. And this is a 3-month program, so you'll get 3 of these challenges. It's a great way to test yourself and establish you as a person on the move to other members. It's about accountability, you being accountable to us and vice versa. Now how it works is that at the beginning of the challenge, you nominate what you are going to be accountable for that week. Okay? And then the idea is that you report in. And if you don't report in, you will be held accountable for that and you'll be called out. Okay? So you have to report in each day on your results. So it could be sales, it could be leads, it could be engagement activities, whatever it is that you say that you are going to do. Okay, we will accept that, but we will hold you accountable. And we'll put it up in the pinned post, right, for that week with everyone's name behind it, beside it. Between the challenge, so we only do one of those approximately every month. Between that, so we've got 3 weeks or so when there isn't a challenge running. But you can still have the accountability benefit working for you, because we encourage accountability partnering. We encourage a buddy system. You buddy up with other members, one other member, and you can bounce off them, okay? And you're accountable to each other. So that's in between the challenges, right, that we run. Now finally, one-on-one coaching. I've layered in $450 of coaching support. Now coaching support is expensive. It's expensive to deliver, because I have to pay for an experienced person, and they're going to charge big dollars. Okay. Now, I've actually got better news for you, because in the short term, I'm going to be doing the coaching for you because I want to perfect the system. Okay. This is a new initiative on my part. I want to perfect the system, and even though I know I'll be running at a loss on this, I'm going to do it because I want to perfect the system. And then once I've done that, then I will hire somebody, but I have to pay that person. I have to pay that person, and he will be looking after you. But in the interim, it'll be me. So you will get a coach, and that coach will help you when you reasonably need it for the next 90 days. Ping him with your questions and your ideas, or ping us, but it'll be one person. It's one-on-one relationship, and he'll give you answers and feedback in a timely manner. Use us as a sounding board, or to be more accurate, to use your coach as a sounding board for your ideas. You've got to be motivated enough to reach out to the coach, okay? But you will have that coach for 90 days, 3 months. You're going to have a similar benefit if you use it. You're going to have a similar benefit to the one that I've I've received with all the different people that have helped me over the years. It could be a game changer for you, big time. Plus, I've got something else for you, and I think you'll love it. Bonuses. I didn't mention this, but I've got some bonuses. Have a look. I've got an enhanced resources file to save you from, doing the research because one of the techniques I think you know about is that we put success quotes up on our wall every day. A Jim Rohn quote, an Anthony Robbins quote, a Deepak Chopra quote. Put them up on your wall, but you've got to do the research to find these quotes. Well, I've put together a file with 200 of my favourite success quotes, and I'm giving it to you as a bonus. How about that? Value is $60. It'll save you a lot of time. Remember I talked before about creating your own swipe file so that when you're engaging with people via the chat box, you will have different responses that you can copy and paste when you're talking to this person, particularly someone is spamming you, or even if they're not spamming you. I'm going to give you my copy and paste swipe files because you are now a paid member. $60. It's ridiculous. It's too cheap. But I'm giving it to you. And here's the last bonus. This is a limited time offer. It's a branded lead magnet license. This works particularly well if you're targeting other marketers, other business owners. And it's called 32 Ways to Get Leads Now. 32 Ways to Get Leads Now. And this is my report. It's a written report. It's a PDF. Okay? So I've got a video version, I've got a PDF, a written version. I'm giving you the PDF version. The value is $300. I'm giving you the license. It's my free written report. But instead of my name being at the bottom, it will be yours. How about that? It'll be yours. Your name will be there. You can use it as a free giveaway to get more leads. This report will help position you as an authority and will add to your credibility big time. Okay? You supply your photograph, a short bio, and your affiliate link. If the bio needs refinement and polishing, we'll do that. It's all part of it. So I've got a team that will do this for you. My team will create your own unique version branded to you. Okay? In the form of a PDF. Branded to you. Your name, your photo, your bio, and your affiliate link, assuming you're an affiliate marketer. Embedded into the document so people can just click on the link and they'll go to your sales page or capture page or whatever it is that you're offering. How about this? Phenomenal. I'm giving this to you. Save you a mountain of time to create it yourself. 32 ways to get hot leads. Now use it as a lead magnet to attract other people. But the catch, it's limited to the first 10 new members. Once we've got the 10, I close off. Okay? So you need to jump on this quickly. 10 new members. That's it. So let's look at the summary. Here it is. I'm not going to go through it line by line because you've seen it. This is an exact summary of what I've just covered. The training, the accountability, the one-on-one coaching, and the bonuses. Value $3,114. How much for the masterclass? How much for this program? Well, you won't pay $3,114 or $2,500 or $1,800 or even $1,500 or $1,200 or $970. Golly, I mean, I've got hard costs with this program. I'm going to have to pay out money on your behalf to deliver this program to you. I should charge $1,000, but I'm not. Originally, I set the price at $897 US. A bargain for sure, I know that. But I didn't want price to be an impediment for you. At this point, my primary motivation is to help you finally get the result I know you want and deserve. I also want your sincere testimonial. Will you give that to me? Will you? You promise to do that? Say yes. So let's do this thing. And you're not going to be paying $897 US today. More good news. It just keeps on coming. I've set the price at a low $497. $497 for this incredible package. But I've got even more good news for you today, because I've got an early bird offer for you. Enroll now and your price will be just $397. And there's your link, 250kayear.com/checkout. /checkout. $397. Alternatively, you can pay monthly installments of just $147 a month for 3 months. But the lead magnet will not be available till all installments are paid. Or you can pay installments of just $77 a month for 6 months. The lead magnet will not be available till all installments are paid. And the coaching support will not be available until you've paid the first 3 installments. Okay? Because, as I say, I've got hard costs associated with this program, and we need to make sure that people are serious. Now, I've got a guarantee, but it's not a money-back guarantee. It's a make-money guarantee, which is far better. And if you're looking for a money-back guarantee, maybe this isn't the place for you. I do not want to encourage people that just want to have a bit of a dabble and then just say, hey, I want my money back. No, I don't want to do that. As I said, I'm incurring costs. I'm putting quite a bit of effort into this myself. I'm putting myself on the line here. I'm making the commitment for you. I expect you to make a commitment for me in return. I think that's fair. But I do have a guarantee, and I think it's a good one. Implement what we teach you for 3 months. If you haven't made money, send us summaries of your monthly activities. We want that detail. I do. If it's clear that you've been implementing what we teach you, we'll work with you till you've made your first $1,000, and we won't charge you. We won't charge you any more, except for the original money you paid for your membership. Okay? That's it. That is a fantastic guarantee. Think about it. I think you'll see. I think you'll agree that this is an excellent way of, helping ensure that you actually make money here, because that's what we're about, isn't it? I want you to make money. You make money, you're going to be an advocate for me. I'll get a testimonial from you. Yeah. So there's the summary again. There it is. $3,114 in value. You can get it now for $397. In about a week, it'll jump up to $497. So there's a definite dollar advantage. But don't forget, I wouldn't wait too long. I would jump on this now so that you can get that bonus. The bonus. It's limited to the first 10 people. Fortune favours the brave and the bold, so book your spot now before I close it. 250kayear.com/checkout. That's it. That's it, folks. Do it. Do it now. Get in. Become one of the 10, so you can get those. You can get that big bonus. You get it at the lower price, and I look forward to working with you, and I look forward to you networking with other members. I think you're going to love this program. I think it'll be a game changer for you. This is Kim Willis. Bye for now. Okay, all right, now we've got this bonus topic for you, how to create viral buzz on your wall. Have a look at some of these tips. First thing you do is you collaborate with people in your team. This is assuming that you're in an affiliate program, network marketing program, something like that. You've got a potential support group that you can tap into. That's what you need. So if you've got that support group, this little idea will work. You post a sizzle post on your wall. Now it's the sort of post that you'd want to publish that is designed to get you some action in terms of leads, in terms of people leaning forward, and you'll have some sort of an offer there. You won't talk about your company or your product specifically. You'll probably talk more about a concept or a success story. That works really well. People love success stories. So if you've got a weight loss product, you've got some examples of people who've got some great results, you could do something like that. If you've had a good week and you've made some money, okay, this is the time when you can do it. You can do that without. You don't want to do it all the time because it kind of puts people off. But if you've got a good success story, money does sell. We have to say that. But you need to do it in a in a kind of an ethical way, okay? Otherwise, as I say, people will run a mile if you go too far. So it's a matter of knowing, striking the balance. So you post a sizzle post on your wall. Generally, I don't post a link unless it's a webinar that I'm promoting. That's another type of post you could put up there. I did one for a webinar several weeks ago. As it turned out, it was a fiasco because the webinar got seriously overbooked and they had to cancel it. But the fact of the matter is that I did get a stream of people wanting to attend the webinar. Okay, so but what I normally do is I tell people to ping me for the link. So I usually don't put a link up, with few exceptions. I usually don't put a link up. I ask them to ping me for the link. Now, so you're collaborating with people in your team. When you put your post up, the idea, and if they're promoting something, maybe it's the same offer, it could be the same webinar, the same, I don't know, sizzle story or something like that, they can do the same on their wall. This is why it's good if you're in a program, the same program, if you're in a network marketing or affiliate program or something like that, and you all have a vested interest in promoting this particular event or offer or idea, whatever it is. So what you want them to do is to, so what you will do is that you will go and make a comment on their wall for the same kind of type of post. So you would say something, wow, this is fantastic, let me add it, or something like that, right? And the effect of this, if a number of people do it, the effect of this is that other people will be seeing this. I'll be seeing all this commentary on this person's wall, and it makes it more likely that they will want to jump on and attend this webinar, or take this action that you're asking them to take. Now, we're talking about reciprocation here. So if you line up 10 people that in your team, even if they're not downline from you, they're just 10 people you can collaborate with, and say, this is the deal. I will comment on your post and say something really great about it, your promotional post. So for a promotional post, okay, that special type of post that we put up regularly, but not necessarily every day. So you tell them that you will do the same for them. Now you tell this to 10 people, but you want them to reciprocate. So they reciprocate by doing the same thing on your wall. So it creates a viral effect. Now leads will likely flow subject to variables such as the quality of the post and the number and quality of your friends. The number and quality of your friends. Okay, so they're the variables. The only person who can control that is you. But I'm just telling you that if you've got a good post, a good offer, you've got, say, 10 people who are prepared to kick it off by making a great comment on your wall about this particular offer, and if you've got good friends, people who are niche specific, they're the sort of people that you want in your business, so this offer will be completely relevant to them. If you've got those elements in place, this strategy will work. Yes, it will. So that's one way that you can use to create viral buzz on your wall. You're collaborating with people who have the same interest as you, the same vested interest. They have the same interest in this particular offer as you. They put it on their wall, you put it on your wall. They comment on your wall, you comment on their wall. So there you have it. And here's a couple of examples of a post that got some action, and some of the action that you see here is from my collaborators, but some of it is from people who, in fact, there looks like there were 10 comments. There's 6 hidden, and there were 4 on display there. So the first one was not. He is a genuine lead. The third one is also a lead. The other 2 were my collaborators, okay? And in the hidden group there, the 6 hidden group, there are another 2 or 3. So I got something like 5 or 6 leads at that early point from this particular post. I don't know how it ended up, what the numbers were in the end there, I can't remember. But I usually always get 5, 6, 7 leads, sometimes more. Here's another one that I did. I got 13. Actually, I think it's more than 15 now. But when I did the, created this slide, it was running at 13 leads. And this is more, this is a bit more wordy, but it worked really well. So people who say that wordy text style posts don't work, they don't know what they're talking about. They just don't know how to do it right. That's all they're saying. They're giving the game away. They're just telling me that they don't have the skills. So this one said, how quickly can you make money? Depends, go with GPT, get paid today. So that's a theme that I have for my business. You could have another theme. If that one doesn't fit, you could have another theme for your business. And see, I talk about concepts. I don't mention companies or anything like that. And at the bottom there, I say go with GPT. It got me out of the rat race in 55 days. Why not you? Ping me to link to my GPT concept video. All right, so I start with a text-based conceptual post, and then I ask them to ping me for the concept video. And so I don't mention company names or anything like that. It's just, let's lead with concepts. Sell people on the concept first about your particular business model or something like that, your particular product offering. Sell them on the concept and how this concept will help them solve a problem. And then we follow up. Are they like that? You like that? Yeah, I like that. Okay, well, I'll send you now a video relating to the exact opportunity that I'm talking about. Okay, so then now you get into the specifics. So that's just another throwaway line there, or throwaway tip for you. So sell concept, sell concept. Okay, I'm sure you got some value out of that. And don't forget, enroll now, so you can get those bonuses. You don't want to miss out on that big one, and you also don't want to get hit with the price rise. So we've got the early bird offer on at the moment. If you're watching this, it means the early bird is still on. And you go to 250kayear.com/checkout. You can enroll, you can get in at that low price, $397, or you can take one of the other financing options, and you'll be in like Flynn. All right, this is Kim Willis. Bye for now.